I'm Mark Root, and I have been a teacher for 20 years. We thought it would be kind of fun to turn the tables, so to speak, and have me become the student who gets graded on backyard projects. This week, we're going to be making a backyard swing. To help with this, my teacher is a handyman, a property manager, and a realtor. Louis Guillama is going to teach me that. Welcome to the show, Louis.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So this is the way it's going to work. You're going to teach me, with all your knowledge and expertise, how to do this project that we've got set up here. So at the end of the show, you're actually going to grade me. A, B, C, or not pass.
Good.
You
Sounds like
that?
some fun payback.
All right. So what kind of an idea do we have in mind today? What kind of a project are we going to be showing everybody?
Well, today we're going to be building a backyard swing to help balance out the features that they have in the backyard with a fire pit on this side, and we'll be building the backyard swing over here on the left side of the backyard. And that should help balance things out so it makes it for a fun place to come and enjoy the outdoors.
All right, so you ready to do this thing?
Yeah, let's do it.
You ready to teach me that?
Let's go for it.
All right. Okay, so last night, in order to kind of get this thing started, Louis and I dug some holes. So if you'll take a look, you'll see down here that we needed to do a little bit of work to get ourselves prepared. We dug about a 3-foot hole over here with our post holes, and came over here, and we did the same thing on this side. Now, this is going to take a little while to kind of prep the area and get yourself ready to do whatever project you have planned around the house. So last night we got, like I said, a little bit of a head start, Louis. And the reason that we needed to dig the holes 3 feet and then put in the gravel and the paver, what would be the point of that?
Okay, so we decided on separating the 2 holes here by approximately 8 feet. So that'll give us plenty of clearance around the 5.5 to 6 foot bench. And then the bottom of the holes that we dug, we filled it first with a paver because we have clay soil here. So we place that paver in there. That'll prevent the gravel that we're setting in the holes from sinking into the clay once we set the concrete on top of it. Then we covered that paver with gravel, which is going to sit beneath the posts that we have, the 6x4 posts, and that'll help keep the bottom of the post dry. So when the water saturates into the ground or sinks into the ground, it won't sit around the bottom of the post to help rot it. It'll actually drain away from the bottom of the post and help keep it dry.
All right, so you ready to kind of explain some of the other materials that we're going to need in order to get this swing done and done well?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's take a look.
Okay.
All right, so Louis, to get the swing ready and to make sure that we've got enough spacing, which you talked about, we had to go and do a little shopping. Mm-hmm. So we hit the local store, and I think we have everything pretty much that we need. So why don't you talk us through some of the things that we're going to need for this project?
Okay. The backyard swing, it's a really simple project. It only involves a few pieces of material. The most important ones are the posts that are going to be supporting the weight of the swing. So these are 6x4 pressure treated posts. You want pressure treated wood because it's going to be sitting in the ground. And make sure that the pressure treated wood that you buy is rated for being beneath the ground surface, because a lot of it is not. The crossbar that we decided for with the design is going to involve 2 2x8s, which are right here. These are also pressure treated because they will be outside. And we decided to use 2 of them sandwiching around the 6x4 post for some added strength and as well as appearance. And then these posts are going to be held in place in those holes with approximately 100 pounds each of cement. And then we'll just cover the rest with dirt to make it level. And that pretty much entails the majority of the work. It's, we have just a few basic tools, a post hole digger that Mark used last night. I'm sure.
I'm a little bit sore today.
Yeah, I'm sure you woke up
honest,
feeling pretty good this morning.
I feel good now.
And that was basically the only tool that we used yesterday to dig a hole. A good post hole digger will dig a straight hole without disturbing the surrounding soil, so it creates a really solid base for that post.
Now, what about this one? We use this a little bit too.
Yeah, this is something that I brought from Florida, which is to intimidate the roots and the rocks that we encountered beneath the surface. So anytime we encountered a deep, a large root or a large stone or rock, we use this to just smash through it and continue with the digging.
And it worked.
And it worked, absolutely.
It took some beating, but it eventually happened.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You're teaching me now.
On this plane, because this is the plane that we're using to secure the post.
Gotcha.
So I just want to keep that straight. I don't want it to go on either side of it.
The teacher has spoken. Oops. He's not here. It's okay. Almost hit my thumb. Nice and sturdy, just like you said. Hopefully that'll be good.
So what Mark is doing right now is digging some stakes into the ground, and we're going to be using these stakes to help support and stabilize the post, the main posts, while the concrete is setting around them.
Oh, whoa. It's a little crooked. I'm doing geometry.
It doesn't have to be perfect.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a little bit of geometry here, right? As a teacher, I got to think about these things because it's got a nice little curve to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a Pisa engineer.
That's what I'm doing. So underneath here.
Yeah. Just bring it up to the line.
All right, it's touching.
And you can see that your end is much higher. So we're gonna have to hit. If you look at the level in the middle, the bubble is all the way to your side.
Yeah.
All right. So now that we have a level, we know we have a level string. So now we're gonna measure from that string to the bottom of the hole, and that's gonna tell us the distance that post is gonna travel from the string to the bottom. We'll do the same thing on that side. And then that'll tell us the difference in distance, right? The difference between that post and the other post, to give us an idea of how much we're gonna have to cut off,
right?
So that they're both the same exact height above the surface of the ground.
Right, but even though they're not at the same underneath.
Correct. Yeah, because there's a slope in the ground, so we have to do this to get a level plane with which to measure the lengths of each post. So now you have a pencil because we're going to need to mark this.
Do I have a pencil? I'm a teacher. Of course I have a pencil.
I would expect nothing less. So this is 33.5 inches.
So 33.5. We need to mark.
So we can mark it on that one. 33.5.
Okay.
10, 17, 18, 18, 19. 19, 9, 10, and 5/8. So 109 and 5/8.
It's like we're taking a test here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Watching the teacher do the teaching here and the student absorb all this. I'm not sure if y is going to equal mx plus b. I'm not quite sure. Or a plus b is going to equal c squared. We're just going to have to see how that works out.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
And again, that's why I don't teach math. So, anyway.
Yeah. So okay. So let's talk about the calculation, right?
Okay.
So we know that from the string to the bottom of the hole is going to be 33.5 inches, right?
Okay.
We know that the string is approximately 8 inches above the ground, and we want the pole, the bottom, to be 6'4", right? So 6'4" minus the 8 inches would be 5'8" above the string, right? So 5'8" is going to be 68 inches.
5'8".
Yeah, 5'8" is
right.
68 inches plus the 33.5. So that gets us to the bottom of the crossbar. The crossbar itself is going to be 7.5. So then that will give us a total of 109, I think, if my math is correct. This will be 40. Yeah, it's 109 inches.
109 inches divided by 12 gives us 11 feet? No, 9 feet. 9
Yeah.
times 12 is 108.
109 will be 9 foot
And
1 inch. Okay, so let's see you prep and get set up with the blade alignment.
Okay, prepping and getting ready for the
Yeah, so
blade
let's-
alignment.
Let's see, there's your cut line. So how are you going to set up that circular
So
saw?
I want to make sure that, like you were saying, that I've got the saw, I've got the line here.
Yep.
I've got the line here, and I want to basically be pushed up. Whoa.
Yep.
About there.
Yeah, that looks
that looking
good.
all right?
Now take a look at your saw blade. Your saw blade's on the inside of the line.
Yeah.
So you want to
So
get
I
the saw
want
blade
to
on
put
the
on the
outside.
outside, so I
Yep.
need to scooch it just a smidge. Too far.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, about there.
Well, remember, the actual teeth are a little wider than the blade itself. So put it out a little bit further
Even
out.
further.
A little bit, yep.
Too far.
Yep.
Too far. Let me come back. Just a smidge. So I've got my square pushed up with my left hand to apply pressure.
Yep.
Once the blade really gets going, and I just
Yeah, now you're not going to start it touching the wood. You're gonna set it, push it away from the workpiece a little bit,
okay.
keeping the circular saw flat. Okay,
Okay.
always flat. And then once you start the circular saw, you're just going to move it forward slowly, and make sure you keep it pressed against the square to keep that line perfectly straight. And you're going to make one pass completely through the piece.
Okay.
Okay, and just with the same amount of pressure, let the saw blade do the work. Don't try to force it, just let the saw blade do the work. It'll go through the piece pretty easily.
Saw blade doing the work, not me.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right, Teach.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
I'm ready to roll here.
Yep.
Let's give it a shot. So I'm going to power up.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad. All right.
Okay.
How about that?
So now yeah, don't when you're cutting through a piece, if it's not going well, it's better to just lift the blade up and out while it's still spinning. Don't ever release the pressure and let go and try to pull it through backwards to the cut, because you're going to run the risk of it jamming on you, and it can be a pretty violent reaction.
What do you want to do?
That's the cut side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So this is the one.
oh wait, we wanted to put that tar in
You want
there.
to tar it?
Yeah.
It's hard work. Just thought that telling kids what to do is the nice and easy thing, and I just sat back and graded them every once in a while, and now I'm getting graded. Hope I'm doing okay so far. I mean, it's not perfect, but remember, I'm the novice. He's the teacher, so there has to be a understanding that I might not be perfect, but do most of it well. Hopefully, he's thinking that too.
Well, that's not bad, man. $15 for 2 pizzas?
Yeah, really, it was a good deal.
Delivered? That doesn't sound right.
$15 total?
With a delivery charge?
Well, they were $6 each.
Wow, man, that is cheap.
So, Lewis, tell us about what we're doing here as we're getting this tar product put on the bottoms of the posts.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're sealing the posts against weather, so against future moisture damage. And so this is a product that's used for moisture proofing posts, basement walls, anything that's below grade or buried in the ground. And once this dries, it's going to prevent water from sitting up against the post and getting absorbed by the post, which is going to lead to wood rot. So this will extend the life of the posts a great deal, and at the same time it's going to help you by discouraging any pests from boring into the wood from below ground, like termites, because they do not like the taste of this stuff. This is pretty nasty stuff.
And you were saying earlier that most folks don't know to do this. It's just assumed that everything is pressure treated, so that all of a sudden you just stick it in the ground and it lasts forever.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people just automatically assume if it's pressure treated wood, that means it's good for any kind of outdoor application, and that's just not correct. Most pressure treated wood that you find in home stores is just rated to be outdoor, but not necessarily in contact with the ground. The ground stays wet, obviously, for a lot longer than the air, so you want something that's extremely durable and moisture resistant. And so we take the added step of moisture proofing this. This is about the extent of the piece that'll be in the ground. So we're sure to treat the very bottom. So that'll moisture proof this. So as it's sitting in the ground and the water, the ground gets moist with rains, that water won't be absorbed by this post.
And the fact that we already have the block in the ground and we already have the gravel
Just
in the ground.
another step.
Another step to make sure that it's properly being irrigated almost.
Yeah.
Where's
Like this.
Kind of like that.
Yep. So this is what we're going to use to position this vertically on this plane, and then we're going to attach another one to this side, going over there
Keep it straight.
to keep it on this plane.
Right.
Right, and hopefully that'll help us secure it in a plumb manner so that we can set the concrete.
Set the concrete so it's not moving all over and it's nice, straight, level, and everything else.
Yeah. So get the drill.
Okay.
And then we'll set the first screw here. It's always good to just grab the drill, but be careful because you're wearing cotton. Be careful because that can wrap around the drill.
Okay.
The screw. And,
How about that?
yeah. Yeah, push down.
Trying not to strip it.
Yeah, you gotta put a lot of pressure in.
All right.
Nope. Okay, that's good enough.
You think it's far enough?
Yeah. You don't have to go all the way in.
Okay.
Okay, so then the next thing is hold on to
I
that
gotcha.
post. We're gonna get the level, and then we're going to figure out whether this is level in this direction, and it almost is perfectly level.
Almost. All right, hang on. Now I think I got it started. Or not.
Okay, I think that's good.
Are you
good,
sure,
right?
Teach?
Yeah, is it in there? So now we have the posts sitting in their position. This is where they're going to be in the finished swing. So now we can measure the distance between the inside portion of the posts. And we have just over 6 feet 7.5 inches. So if we have a 5-foot swing, that's going to give us approximately 5 to 6 inches on either side of the swing, which will be perfect because you want to account for not only the swing, but the swing has an armrest, so you want to account for someone maybe sitting on one end of the swing and having their arm on the armrest and their elbow sticking out, so you want to make sure that they have enough clearance to get past the post and it's comfortable.
Right.
And so just by looking at it, you can see we measured with the level. It's perfectly plumb. Both posts are equal distance apart from the top and the bottom. So now we're just going to mix the concrete, set it in there, and then wait 24 hours before we do any additional work on it, because concrete takes some time to cure, and this concrete will take about at least 24 hours. Some concrete will take 30 days depending on the weather and the mixture to fully cure. So even though it's hard, it's not fully cured, but you can work with it after 24 hours. And in this case, it's colder weather, so we want to give it some additional time.
So it looks like we're good to go. We've got 50-pound bags of concrete.
Yep,
Now
let's start mixing.
Yep.
Just the hose.
So we got a mixing situation here. We got to have so much water to so much mixture, and we're going to do how deep again? We're going to go into the hole. So what's the hole? calculation.
We're gonna want to put 2 bags. Try and fit 2 bags in there. We may not even be able to fit 2 bags in here. Yeah, we should. Yeah, they should. Both bags should fit in there.
Both bags and then both bags.
Yeah.
So
You have
a nozzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me get that.
And so what he's doing now is he's pouring the concrete. The concrete mix, we made it a little more wet than usual. We added a little extra moisture because we're pouring the concrete. It's going to be in contact with the ground, and the ground is going to absorb some of that water. And we don't want to rob the concrete of the water it needs to set. Yep, all the way around.
Ew.
Oh, it's nice to actually see this happening.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're already at this point. Okay.
I don't want to talk about the consistency that this thing reminds me of. Not looking pleasant.
That's fine.
Bringing back some memories, you know.
All right, so far everything is going very smoothly. I think it takes a little while to pick up, to understand the concepts of what we're trying to do, especially with using the circular saw, some of the power tools. But yeah, he's doing really well. So far, so good. I'm really proud, really happy with the way things are turning out. We got the 2 posts set in the ground. He's putting the concrete in now. So by the time the concrete is firmly set, we should be ready to put in the crossbars.
You know, I'm not really sure about this. You're not the most handy guy.
What are you talking about? I'm handy. I'm a teacher. Stuff is, you know, like second nature.
But you don't know how to build anything.
That's only because in the past I haven't had to really build anything. Now I have a purpose and a focus.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.
Do you feel better now that Lewis is actually out there teaching me?
Lewis knows what he's doing, so yes, I think that'll be a good thing.
I guess we'll just have to see.
You don't want to use it for too long because it gets sacrificed as you use it, so it becomes less effective. And so that'll be yours.
Okay.
Now, if you were to use a sandpaper like this with the grit on one side, your hand will be slipping all over the place.
Okay.
So it's not a very good way of using it. So you'll want to fold it in on itself a third of the way.
So kind of.
Yeah, take it like, hold it with the flat face up.
Yeah.
You fold it in 1/3 of the way.
Okay.
Almost like you're folding
You
a
like
letter to put it in an envelope, and then you fold it on top of itself like this, and now you have the grit holding the back. So now you're gonna have grit on your fingers, so you're gonna have a lot more control instead of that smooth surface. Okay?
That's some true grit.
Yeah, some true
grit.
That's right. It takes away all the action. This is a really good quality sandpaper.
Uh-huh.
So look at that, it's already gone. I mean,
It's really taking it away.
basically, so Mark's using the palm sander now, and what we're trying to do is just smooth out the radius of these cutouts. And so Mark, he marked down using a pencil. He just marked a line on the high spots that we want to sand down, and then by using the palm sander, he'll just keep sanding it until that lead disappears, and then that'll give him the indication that it's finished.
It's good to go. Yep. It's decorative and it's beautiful.
That's right.
So here we go with the palm sander. All right. I still got to keep going.
Yeah.
There. All right.
Yeah. So if you got a close up of the lead, so just so people can see the idea. This is the lead marking that we place in the wood. So then he's just going to keep sanding it until that disappears.
Like magic.
Like
Like
magic.
making it disappear. I'm making it rain.
Okay, so what we're looking at here is the top piece of the swing, the cross piece, and we're measuring to fit to drill the holes for the anchors for the chain. And so we already measured the swing, and it was 58 inches across on the outside edge. So we're going to add a small buffer to that, and we're going to measure out a total of 60 inches width and drill the holes for the anchors, and that'll give a nice shallow inside angle to the chain. So when we connect it to the swing, the chain won't be turning in and rubbing up against the people that are on the swing, and it'll hold it pretty much on the outer edges of it.
We don't want any rubbing.
That's right, no
Definitely,
rubbing.
especially if the wife is going to be sitting in there. Okay. So power tool equals, I don't know, treble. All right, so to kind of get on the spot, right?
Yep.
Am I on the?
Yeah, that's good. That's good enough.
And I'm going to straight down.
Okay, that's on a big angle. Okay, that's straight.
I remember I don't
It's
teach,
like-
I don't teach math. I teach social studies. But okay.
Okay, so that
So
looks straight on.
that looks straight on.
that axis. Yeah, that looks good.
Now going
Yep.
straight on
Straight on
through
down.
and trying to apply pressure as I go.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep, just a little bit of pressure. Yep.
Just a little bit of pressure.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
So here we go.
Yep, there you go. Okay, good. Excellent. Keep going. You can keep Perfect.
Yeah, look at that. All right,
Perfect.
that's a nice,
That's
sweet
nice.
little hole.
Yeah, nice clean hole. So now how about that? And it's gonna go.
I haven't set mine. I'm just kind of.
Yeah, it's gonna. Can you?
do you
Here,
want?
it's gonna come over more
you?
on this side. Right there.
There.
That's a good step ladder. That looks nice and solid. Don't take a picture of that.
Yeah.
That's not the recommended. I mean, really thin. How about here? Let's go get a ladder. Hold on. You have a small ladder, a short ladder?
No.
No. Right there.
God, I wish I could see on the other
Okay.
side of this thing.
Are you ready?
Not really. Okay. I mean, no pressure. It's just the money shot and all.
That's right. No pressure.
Okay.
Oh, you yeah.
Okay.
Try to keep it
So here we go. Am I looking pretty straight?
a little down. Keep going down.
Okay.
Right there.
There.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. You tell me.
Yep. You gotta go fast.
Am I through?
No. Pull it out a little bit. Pull it out. Turn. You have to turn it and pull. Turn it. Keep it on. And pull out. But you don't bend it.
I'm moving though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I might.
Don't bend. You're bending up.
Okay.
Yeah. You stop bending up.
Down.
Pull the trigger and just pull it straight out. Can it doesn't come out?
I'm kind of stuck, I think. Come on. Come on out.
Keep it down now.
All right.
And keep it on.
All right.
And just move it back and forth, back and forth. All right. Yeah, just like that. I'm looking at your drill bit,
Yeah,
just like
okay.
bending, like Beckham. No, here. Let's
Trying to get back out again.
yeah. Here, I'll get it. Let me see if I can get it out of there. Let me see if I can get that thing out of there. Get that bolt out of there.
What?
Put the last link in the short chain on the front.
Last link, short chain on the front.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is just temporary because we got to find the right location for it.
Okay. And then take this one.
Yeah, put the end link on that one.
End link. Wait, whoa. Am I in the right one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Put it here. And then go like so.
Yeah, now we have to adjust. Now we
Okay.
can lower it down. Just, yeah, let it hang. And then we're gonna have to adjust this one to get it to the right
Okay.
spot.
What we got? I'm working hard here. Look at that. I got injured. I'm tough though. We're making this swing work.
Okay, you need to get up, dude.
Oh, okay. Eek. All right.
Wow, that's nice. You really did a good job. I wasn't sure you're going to be able to do it.
Here, let me sit down with you.
Well, since you were able to pull this one off, I'm going to have to come up with a few other things for you to do.
We'll just have to see about that.
I'm impressed. I think it came out great. You got your posts are nice and plumb. Everything looks to be squared up nicely. And as with most carpentry projects, it's not just function, but it's also the finish. And Mark, you did outstanding. So I had to give you a grade. Well, heck, this would be easy. This would be an easy A. Absolutely.
How about that? An easy A. So we'd like to thank Lewis for coming out and giving all his expertise, his experience, his patience, being a teacher. Kind of fun, huh?
Yeah, it's been fun.
I'll tell you, being the student, I was a little nervous at first, but I sure am glad that Lewis taught me that. So make sure you join us next time on our next episode for our next home project. Again, thanks for being with us.
Bye-bye.